All
All
right.
right. Hi, everybody. It's Jill here with Illuminating Women, and we are having one of our happy hours. We're having some little cocktails and connection, and it's also a great time for us to learn because we know in Illuminating Women, one of our missions is education. Because when women learn more, it empowers them, and they can get encouraged, and our families get better, our communities get better, our world is just a better place. So this particular happy hour, because there's so much going on in our world right now, that it's always when we have these huge events, it's the artists who can oftentimes express what we're feeling. They can help inspire us, and they're oftentimes great therapy for us. And so today I brought two wonderful artists to help us, teach us, and to show us some new ways. And as you see, I have this beautiful artist sitting right here in front of us. Anya, I welcome to this place. Thank you for saying yes and teaching us today. So yourself and let's take her.
Okay, sounds good. If you can pin me again, spotlight me again, because I took it off me while you were talking. So, because let you do the thing. So, hi guys, I'm Anya Toomre. I am an artist, a teacher, and a creativity coach, and I have been doing, well, I guess I've been doing art most of my life, but I haven't really considered myself an artist except for like past 10 years. I've been doing fiber most of my life. So I've been sort of a fiber artist, but I've been doing drawing and painting for about 10 years now. And then so what I wanted to introduce today was that life is really tough right now. Life really is quite stressful with the pandemic, and then also racial, why are people like this? Why does it even exist? Why is it even an issue? Why people are people? We should just treat people like people. But sometimes with doing art, it's a little hard because sometimes we're drawing flowers and pretty things, and it just seems not right to be doing that kind of stuff when there are tough things also going on. But recently it was kind of like art is hope. Looking at art and doing art is hopeful. It's a hopeful kind of thing. So that's one of the reasons for me to do art, is because it gives me a place to go when everything outside is really, what do? I have no idea. It's something I can control. It's something that can let my spirit go and relax and all that kind of stuff. So I get into my art. And I think I'm still not on Spotlight, Jill. So if you can take me there.
As long as you're talking, you'll probably be recorded.
Okay, because at some point I will be doing stuff with my camera, and that needs to be on Spotlight when it gets there. But we'll get to that point. But what I wanted to give you a little background for me, just because I don't know everybody, but I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I've been living out in Washington State for the past 20 years or so. But I've lived in a bunch of places. So I've lived in Massachusetts, I lived in California, I've lived in Wisconsin, I've lived in Washington. But I've also lived in various places around the world, like England, the Netherlands, Tunisia, Morocco, and Japan. So I've lived in a bunch of places, and I've also traveled a bunch of places. And all those kind of things influence my work, because being in different places, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's interesting. What do you eat? Oh, what do you speak? Well, ooh, look at the architecture. Oh, everything's interesting. And so that's what that's some of my background. And I primarily work with ink and watercolor. I work in sketchbooks. Primarily, sometimes I'll do wall art, but most of the time it's in sketchbooks. And then I mostly consider myself, I draw and then I add with watercolor. And I consider myself more of a drawer artist that way rather than a watercolorist. I can paint and make something without any ink in it, but I usually like to have ink in it. And so that's, and then I think of myself as a visual documentarian. I like to make up words, and that's my word. visual documentarian and visual storyteller. I tend to like to draw from real life or from pictures. I don't tend to draw imaginary scenes. I don't tend to draw very much abstract, although it is kind of fun. It can be. I've recently started doing some of that. Can be kind of fun, but that's where I tend to go. And what I thought I'd do is I have some pictures to show you, just give you an idea of like some of the work that I do. And so I'm gonna share some of that with you. If you can allow me to do that, Jill. Then I will.
All right, you've got it. We're all
Okay.
we're all looking
almost,
for your phone.
Almost. I still can't do it yet.
Yeah, you're on. All we see is your from your phone. What do you or were you trying to?
I need to share from.
Oh, screen. Oh, yes. Sorry.
I need to have permission to share my
Okay,
screen from
there you
my.
go.
Let's see. Okay, cool. So here we go. So give me a moment to play with this. And all right. So hopefully you just see me, right?
Yep, we know. We see your slide.
Okay, artist, teacher, creativity coach. So that's me. So one of the things that I do when I draw, I tend to I draw from memories of the past. That's a lot of what my drawing is. And so some of the things that I like to do, Fig Newtons. I'm from the town Newton, Massachusetts. That's where Fig Newtons came from. So I draw from that. I draw. This is Boggle. This is a game that I used to play when I was a kid. I draw things like that because I think the past is interesting. So I draw from the past. This is my parents' house. This is the entryway in my parents' house. I grew up in a Victorian, and so they're all these things. My parents still live in the same house. So it's now about 50, 60 years that they lived in this house. And so each one of these pieces of furniture I have memories with. And I used to do cartwheels going across from one room to the other room across that square patterned rug. Just so I have memories of those. I draw memories of maps of where I've been, where I've walked, where I've gone. It's just something I like to do. I draw my animals. She passed away a number of years ago, but she's one of my favorite Poochie. This is Sumi. Then I draw food. I draw a lot of food. Because food is life. I go to restaurants and I draw their signage. I draw some of the interesting bits that they have on the walls and what the plate of food looks like and the surroundings. I like to draw food. I like to draw collage things, but all this is real. And this you'll know is Logan from Pot Pie Factory. She's one of the members of Illuminating Women. Just a delightful thing. She was presenting and showing her pot pies and had to take pictures and draw them. Just lovely. Then I like drawing food that's around. And so this is like the beginning of a recipe and just the food that went into fried rice. I do more formal recipes, illustrating recipes. And then different ways of doing recipes. I also teach a class on doing recipes, a recipe illustration. But a lot of this is influenced by where I lived, who I've been with, what kind of food. And I also just like to draw food. I like complicated things, ink and watercolor. This is almost like road maps, this cabbage. I like to draw from the masters. So this is my copy of a Leonardo da Vinci. So since I like to draw with ink, this is a great picture for me just to practice brush strokes and stuff like that. This is Albert Durer's rhinoceros, but it's my version of his. It's lovely. I'm inspired by books. So sometimes ideas come up in books that I want to draw. So Life of Pi, that book, the person talks about his father who had lots of, ran a farm, no, ran a zoo. And there are all these animals being mentioned. So I took the first 30 animals mentioned in the book and I was drawing pictures of them. So I had no idea what a Moluccan cockatoo was, but I decided, hey, that'd be fun to draw. So sometimes I get ideas from books to draw. I play with art supplies. Hey, Colin? Yeah. No. Sorry. Play with art supplies. And so I draw my art supplies, and that's always a fun hobby. But then I also, because I like watercolor, I do color charts. I love painting color charts and just color charts. They're too much fun. And then pattern shows up a lot in what I draw. And this is from traveling. These are some tile patterns from from Portugal. And so I like to draw the pattern and paint them and see how they intersect. And these patterns, this is that same one block repeated 16 times makes that lovely colored pattern. It's like, I just like patterns. This is another one that just makes a 4-patch. It's kind of fun. But I do travel journals. That's also a big thing with what I do, is travel journals. And so this is from Portugal. And what I like to do is I like to take collage of my photographs, and then I draw them, the things that I went ooh to from the day, and then I draw them and I assemble them and I make notes and things like that. Sometimes I can put a lot on a page like this one. Sometimes just one picture, one building is enough. There's a lot going on in this one building. Then I like maps. I always put a map in my travel journal. This is going back home again. This is visiting before going to Europe, and some of my neighborhood growing up. That's my mom. That's my husband. This is in Venice. Some images from Venice, and of course maps. This is back to Newton again. Some of the things. I love signage. I love things like the Dunkin' Donuts. I always have lettering. I have maps, and that's it. And that's so that's where you can find me at my website, anyatoomre.com. And if you want to see more pictures and more drawing, I have videos on my YouTube channel. And you can look under my name, Anya Toomre, or you can find it under users/atoomre. And that will give you some more pictures of what I do. But what I wanted to do today, for just a little bit of time, because art is to get you into the flow of things, is that I'd like you to have get some paper and pencil or a pen type thing. And for the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to do, my phone has drooped, so you have to bear with me just for a moment. But what I want to do is something called blind contour. And blind contour, what that is that you are looking at the thing that you're drawing, and then you are not looking at your paper. The thing about art is that art is all about what you see. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. Painting, abstract things, those are all very different. But when you're actually drawing and trying to draw a cup to make it look like a cup, or a cat to look like a cat, or a house to look like a house, you need to watch, you need to look, you need to observe. And one of the things that as artists we are taught is draw what you see, not what you think you see. Even though we think that we know what a house is, you need to keep on looking. And these exercises, what I'm going to do right now is I think everybody's creative. And everybody here has already said they're creative in one manner or another. And what I like to do is I like to find fun ways into being creative and into tapping into that. And of course, I'm a visual artist most of all. I mean, I do lots of things, but what I like to do is introduce people having fun with trying to draw. And a lot of people don't, as adults, we don't like to draw if we haven't been doing it for a long time, because we're all worried about, oh, it's going to be no good. Oh, I don't have any practice. Oh, I haven't been doing this for years. So you're so much better. Kids can do it. up to a certain age, they just draw. But one of the things as adults, we just kind of have to break the ice, do some ice breaking. So one of the things we're going to do is an icebreaker. And we are going to do a blind contour. And what I thought I'd show you is, let me see. So I work in sketchbooks. And so let me see if my sketchbook is actually showing up for you. Yes, it is. All right. So in sketchbooks, this is how I always work. These here, this is an example of blind contour, this one here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have somebody be my, my demo person that I can draw. And what I'm going to do is that in a couple of minutes, I will just look at the person I'm going to draw, and my hand with a pen will be drawing on the paper. And then you can see how it turns out. And the thing about blind contour that's fun is that you get to release your inner Picasso. Your inner Picasso comes out, because there's no way, there's no way that a blind contour can turn out perfectly, because you're not looking at the page. There's just no way, unless you have been trained for many, 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 many years. There's no way that a blind contour can be good. But what it is doing is you're looking at the person, you're observing, you're noticing, and there are parts of a blind contour that begin to look correct. Like in this one here, the eyes, it looks like a person, it's just kind of off. And this one up here is another blind contour. I've got eyes, and there's a nose and a mouth and an ear. There are parts that are right, but it all doesn't, but it's fun and it's funny. And what I want to have happen is that once we're all done with this, I want, if people are willing, I'd like us to share what you have done, because if nothing else, it makes for a good laugh. So anybody volunteer to be a, Jill, would you like to be the guinea pig? Who would like to be my model while I do this? Because I need to pin you so that I can then draw you. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. And then what I want everybody to do is, if you want me to be the model, I will, or whoever. But then we're going to draw each other, and it's only going to take a little bit of time to do this, and it's funny, and that's what we need. We need something to laugh about these days. So Jill, are you willing to be my
or Nicole looks Richie, because she's the one drinking.
I'm only going to do your face. So it's who are you willing, Nicole, if I draw you?
Sure, you can draw me.
Okay. Well, I had a wave from somebody else. Let's see who was that who was waving. Susan, do you want to be the model? Because you're volunteering there. Yeah? Okay.
All righty.
I'll have Susan be my model. All right. So what happens is that if you look at my page where I'm going to be drawing, I'm not actually going to be looking at my page at all during this. I will just be looking at Susan, right? Right? Okay, because I've forgotten the name. It goes in one ear and out the other. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna try now, and I'm gonna be nervous. So okay, let's go. All right, so starting now, and it's always interesting with blind contour. Oh, I should have put the eyebrow with the eye. Oh well, sorry. You have to kind of figure out where. Oh, I didn't do your nose. It's okay. Can I just say it is really hard to draw and talk at the same time. I'm really sorry what's happening here, because I'm not looking at my page. I'm doing your nose. That's just really not working very well. I might have to do this again. Oh, and there's your ear, and there's an earring, and we need to get the top of your head. Oh, that's just not right. There's something about drawing and talking that just does not work. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so it looks like a person, but it's not really Susan, let's just say it's not, but it is a person. And so Susan, what do you think? You can unmute yourself. This is what I want us to try, because it is a very it's a very funny thing to draw like that, and you just start laughing. You can't look at your page at all when you're doing this. So is everybody ready to try this out? Who would you like to draw? Would you like to draw me with my glasses, or would you like to draw me without my glasses?
Me? Draw you?
Anybody? I want everybody who's
Oh.
up for this, who has some paper and pen, to try for the next minute or two. Just try drawing whose ever face you can sort of see. I will sort of stay like I'm looking at you guys, and then you just kind of draw. Don't look at your paper. Draw and see what happens. See what Picasso comes out of you, and how many of me there will be. But anytime, just start and do it.
Oh, you can't look.
No, you
Oh
can't.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is kind of fun.
Oh, I can't see it because of
I
your.
know I got to change my background here. Or can I? No, I guess I can't. It's because.
No, I can't see it.
Okay, let me get back to no background. I was kind of having fun being at the ocean here with you. So, okay, here's.
Oh, look at that.
I
Cool.
was actually kind of looking at you, Anya.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so, you got big ears here, honey.
I do. I
Started your
clearly do.
head, and I went and did your eyes, but it was your nose. This was kind of fun. This was.
Yeah. And so do somebody else, because they really don't take very long.
They don't. They don't.
And what's nice is that now you don't have a lot of people. They have sort of this fear of drawing because it's a blank sheet of paper. Oh no, what happens if I make a mistake? Oh, let's see, Andrea. What does Andrea's look like? Let's see. Pin. Oh, look at that. And I like the teeth you got there too. Well done. And you don't have to name it either. You don't have to identify who you're drawing. You'll have to unmute yourself if you want to say something.
I think it would be hard to tell who that is. That's good. I won't. But I love these. I think there's such beauty in the line not moving.
Oh, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. And
so cool.
and what's fun is that you can do this you can be on a bus, well, whenever we can socially do our thing. But you can do this anytime, and they only take a minute or two to do. You can get more detailed. You can do eyes first and then go out. You can do the top of the head and come down. You can figure out how you want to do it. Let me do somebody else. Actually,
Nicole, did you have one? Did you do it?
Yeah, I did you.
Me?
Yeah, see, there's your earrings. There's your glasses. But you kept moving, so it's not perfect.
Andrea, that's you.
I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna try you, Nicole. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, see, glasses are kind of fun because
Oh,
they
did you
they
do
have the rim. If you get your eyes in, that's great. But it's
I like
I
this
probably
one.
should have done your eyes when they're in the glasses. Darn. But oh well.
I like this one. This is of Anya.
That's good, Jean.
Yeah. That one turned out really
It's so me. It's so me. Now I have to do vapor trails.
Julie, let's look at Julie's. You have to unmute yourself, honey. I love to see this one. You're muted.
Sorry about that there. I unmuted myself. So I did a really fantastic Sharon. I'm sure you guys will recognize her immediately.
Wait. Who is talking here? Let's see.
Me.
Oh, really? Okay. So what did you end up doing?
Sharon, do you want to see? Want to see? There we go. Fantastic, Sharon. And in my defense, I am drawing in a hammock, so that's why, you know, it might not look exactly like her.
You're much more comfortable though. It's good.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of fun. So this is something you can do anytime. You can paint the background. You can put these strange people on them. It becomes abstract. But what's happening is that when you do this first, when you do a blind contour, you can do blind contours of anything. But doing people is fun because you often can recognize the eyes and the nose and the mouth pieces. And that's very Picasso-y, having pieces of faces in different spots. But the next time you draw a picture of whoever you've just drawn will be better than if you hadn't done this. That's the thing about blind contours, is that because you're looking at the person or looking at the thing before you actually draw, as you're drawing, you're observing, and that makes your next drawing all the better. And this didn't take you any time at all, and it was funny. And that's part of what's good. I do this a lot when I draw buildings, something complicated. If I have a complicated site, scene that I want to draw, I'll often do it. Any of my photographs that are complicated, I'll do a blind contour of that first, and then I'll do the full scene. I'll show you something that I've done that that's along that line. So if you can look at my camera view. So this is a kind of a funky looking thing, but this is a blind contour that I first did of a fruit vendor, and then I did it again. And if you look at this one and you look at that one, you can tell there are bits in here that are in here. So it helps me make my my drawings, and this is the final. So I did those three things. I did that blind contour of my photograph first, and then
I'm not seeing them.
Oh, you have to look at you have to pin my, Jill, you have to spotlight my.
Yeah, it is pinned.
Is it spotlit? Because spotlit will make it.
There we go.
Okay, so there we go. So this is the blind contour that I did first of a drawing, and then I did it one more time, and this is a bicycle cart of fruits and vegetables, and then this is the final drawing of from a photograph. But I always do blind contours of complicated scenes like this because I start like, oh, how did the pieces all fit together? And so that's one of the things I do. So what I wanted to do next, if you're up for another kind of drawing, you can probably unspotlight my camera for the moment, is that I'd like to do something that is a it's a time drawing. And so what we're going to do, how much time do we have, Jill, to do any drawing?
I kind of lost time. What time is it, guys?
It's about 5 o'clock now.
About 5 o'clock. So just a quick one, because
Okay, so we won't do a time drawing, but what we will do is draw with your non-dominant hand. So at the moment, I am a right-handed person, but I will have to draw with my left hand. Gosh, that's hard. And let's see, everybody's in different surroundings. So hopefully there's something around each one of you, like a cup or a bottle or a shoe or a notebook or something, just to try drawing. I have in front of me, like I have a cup. I'm at my desk, so I have a lot of different things I can try to draw. But if you have shoes, try to draw a shoe. Try to draw your other hand. We all have two hands. Let's do that. We all have two hands. today, hopefully. I think we all do. And with your non-dominant hand, so I'm a righty, I will draw with my left hand. And with my left hand, I will try to draw my right hand. This is another funny one because unless you've been practicing, it's hard to draw well. And you're not really allowed to trace. That's cheating. Okay. So just for those of you who want to cheat, try not to. Try to look at your hand, and I'm going to draw it up like this because I have a little bit more practice. But I'm going to try, and you can spotlight my hand phone if you want, Jill, so it's visible for people. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it should be visible.
Okay. So I'm gonna with my left hand, I'm looking at my hand. Oops, that's good. I'm looking at my hand, my right hand, and trying to draw it. And it's a little hard, but the thing about this is that I'm observing, and because I'm doing it with my left hand, not my right hand, it's okay because it can't be good. It can't be perfect. And one of the things also about being an adult trying to do stuff, there are a lot more perfectionists out there like me. I call myself a recovering perfectionist. And you know, when you set up a situation so that you can't have perfection, it's a lot easier to try. So drawing with your non-dominant hand, it can't be fabulous, but it can be fun. So
Wow. That I thought it was pretty freaking cool.
it's kind of fun to.
Oh my gosh. Without looking, you're not looking. Wow.
Well, actually, I am. I'm looking at my page. I am. This is not a blind contour, so I'm looking at my hand, but my hand is right next to my page, so I'm very close to it. So
Right.
you don't have to not look at you. I could do. Okay, that'll be interesting. So I just did a drawing where I looked at my hand, I looked at my page. That's all very good. I will try to do a drawing now with my hand. Oh, how am I going to do this?
Well, while you're doing that,
It's really hard to look at my hand and not look at the page because my hand and they're too connected. So just
Right.
draw with your non-dominant hand and see what happens. That is kind of funny.
all right. That's pretty cool.
So just kind of go around and show anybody who's willing to, anyone who's willing to see. Let's see, Nicole is showing hers. Let's see. I guess I need to be unspotlit my,
It doesn't show. It's not dark enough.
oh, look at that. Your nails and your knuckles. Cool.
Oh, I like it. Way to go.
Oh, sorry. Nicole, can you show it one more time? Because I was seeing Elaine's.
Oh, nice.
Oh, pretty cool. And that's with your non-dominant hand. Your lines are really straight. Well done.
Right? Look at Andrea's too. Put that back up.
Oh, let's see, Andrea.
It was
Wow.
kind of like sideways.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, just having like that. But
It's
isn't it
all
hard?
round.
It's really hard to keep a straight line, isn't it? With like shaky, shaky, shaky. That looks great.
That's fun.
Cool. So that was those are some of the things that I do to kind of observe. I do stuff that blind contour and just challenge myself. I draw with my non-dominant hand, and those are some things you can do to.
Awesome.
So
Well, thank you for teaching that. That was pretty cool. I think, you know, I can see how it's even doodling, like when, you know, at times that can be helpful because we're wanting to pay attention to somebody and we're going to doodle over here, right? And see what kind of designs we can get. Be cool.
absolutely.
I love it. All righty. Well, thanks again, Anya. That was in your art. And if you get go check out her site. And I just want you to know at the end of this, when Jean's done, I have a little giveaway and a free giveaway, which is going to be here. Can't take off. So I'll just say it's to something pretty special, and I'm glad to see that. Susan's got to go, I think. So goodbye.
No, it was me.
Oh, that was you? Oh, okay.
I also left.
Oh, Susan's just saying thank you. Oh, yes, she says thank you. All right. So Jean, I want to welcome you to this place. I am going to pin spotlight video you and pin you there. And I want to welcome you to Illuminating Women. You are one of our members and a person with such heart and soul. And I asked Jean to come on here and teach us a few things. She's been working with her photography business, keeping consistent with branding. And she inspired me with the pictures she's taken with her phone and how she messes around with it and the things that she does. So I asked her to come here and teach us a few things and let us get to know her a little bit better. So everybody, welcome Jean. Jean, welcome. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, Jill. Thank you, everybody. And thank you so much, Anya. This is a great opportunity, and the idea of this artist date is great. This idea of flow is really good at this time, because I know that I've been kind of with all the recent events and everything, and just it's been like a catastrophe point in history. And just like in the last day or so to make this presentation, I've been going through pictures and getting things ready, and just going through artwork and hearing Anya talk and stuff. It just kind of like brings you down to the moment, and it just like shifts your mind into a different realm, and brings you down into into the here and now, and it just calms you down, really, frankly. And it just kind of calms the turmoil, and it helps me. I know that. And you have to be cognizant of what's going on in the world, obviously, but it gets you off of social media a little bit, and it's a good idea that you had to do this, I think. So just want to say that. But okay, well, I'm going to do a little introduction of myself and tell you why I got into photography and what's going on with that, and then I'm going to talk about personal branding. So I've been passionate about photography forever, since probably middle school, and I had my first photo essay, and I'll show you my first photo essay was. I don't have the exact picture, but I will share my screen and tell you the general topic. For those of you about my age, you probably recognize this general topic. My first photo essay was about my pet rock. Did it work? Can you see anything?
It was there and then it went away.
Yeah. So try it again. There you go.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There. Okay. So that was my first photo project. And let me see, did it come back? Am I back? Am I back to normal now?
Yeah, you're back to normal.
Okay. So anyway, that was my first photo project. And so 20 years later, I met my husband, had my first kid in '93. And we moved into a little house in Shoreline, and I started taking black and whites with my camera, made a dark room, and got into hand tinting. And that was when I first started selling my photography. And so here, let's see here. And this was the kind of product, the very first product that I started selling was this. Can you see anything?
For some reason, when you might have to click twice.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, beautiful. Oh, we see it and then we lose it.
Oh, weird.
Nicole Lux Ritchie.
Did it work?
Here, there we go.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So that's my first product that I started selling. That's my son. And my
Oh, he's beautiful.
And I started making those and selling them, and people loved them, and I would give them away, certificates for them and for auction items, and for like board members for preschools and stuff. And that was when I started getting interested in things. And so then we moved to a bigger house. I had 2 more kids, and I brought my darkroom along, and and started creating in my garage. We remodeled and made a bigger studio, and started taking more pictures of preschool buddies and moving along. Eventually, I built a studio that was more sufficient. And now I have this today. Let me see if I can share my screen. Sorry, I don't know why this isn't working. Share screen, now work. Huh, weird, I'm having to do it twice. Share screen, here's my studio today. Is it working? Share screen, share screen.
It shows up for like a second and then it pops away.
There, now it should work.
There
See
it is.
Okay.
That works.
So that's my studio today, and I've got like a natural light section over by the windows, and I have strobe lights, so I get 2 different looks. And then, okay, stop share. And so anyway, so I raised kids and did that on the side, and then I went back to work for a while. And then because of family situations, about 5 years ago, I decided to take it full time and started going to portraiture. And I'll skip a bunch and go I started going into portraiture and found a mentor named Sue Bryce and started doing portraits. Let me share screen. And this was the style that I went towards. Okay. And then I'll talk a little bit about each picture. Did it share? Oh gosh.
Did for a minute.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. This was supposed to go smoothly. Perfectly imperfect, right? Okay, there she is. Oh no, share. Did it share? For a second, right? Okay. And so people, did it share?
Yes.
Okay. So people were coming in wanting, this is an example of a LinkedIn photo. Women were, in particular, were coming in and wanting LinkedIn photos and more. And so I started taking contemporary women's photos following my mentor, Sue Bryce's methods, and doing everything from all types of photos, and not quite getting up to personal branding though, and using my natural light corners and then the strobe lighting and things like that. And let's see. And so I started networking about 4 or 5 years ago. And as I networked with other entrepreneurs, I started to become fascinated by how they started their own businesses. And that became almost more interesting than promoting myself. And so I started studying how people were branding themselves and marketing themselves. And I even went back to community college and started learning about how people are up-leveling themselves and starting their own businesses and entrepreneurship. And so it was kind of like a perfect storm of the photography and entrepreneurship and marketing. And I was drawn towards this personal branding photography where I wanted to mix the portraiture and the branding. And so that's when I started into the more than just a portrait type of photography. And so there's branding is just a little bit more than portraiture, because you can take the portraiture and then boost it into branding. And you can combine them so that it's like the picture I just showed you. This is going more than I was going to talk about before. The picture I just showed you is more of a LinkedIn picture, whereas like this picture here starts to get more into branding because it shows, here, I'll show you. Let's see if this works. Share screen. Nope, didn't work. There she is. Now you see that? Screen share. Did it work?
So walk through the steps of what you're doing.
There. Is it working?
Yes.
Here? Okay, there's Lori. That's the same one. Anyway, that's a little bit more towards personal branding than the last one. That was the same woman. Because it shows a little bit more of her personality. And whereas the other one's just like a head and shoulder shot for LinkedIn, but this one shows a little bit more of her personality. And I could also take the side and stretch it more for her website. But yeah, anyway, I wasn't going to go into that originally, but this could also be used for various reasons. But this would, what do you think this would brand as? What would you say? This would be a friendly.
I think she's a coach of some type.
Yeah, I would say coach too, because she's very approachable and friendly.
It's really clean, but it still has a little like a soft, approachable, like not too like lawyer, attorney, corporate-y.
Maybe because of her outfit.
Yeah, beautiful.
And the lightness. She's 58 there, 58, 59. You would never guess it. She's professional makeup.
She's obviously a health coach then.
No, she's just very, well, she's very healthy. But okay, so and let's see here. Let me look at photos here. So let me see here. So let's go into what personal branding is. What do you guys know what personal branding is? I know Anya asked me this. What do you think personal branding is? Any ideas? Hi, Karen. Okay, so.
We want you to tell us.
Okay, what the heck is personal branding? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, it's 4 things that it's a lot of things, but it's very important. It's very important. It's 4 things primarily. It's personality of your business, and you usually are your business, right? Because we're small business people. So, okay, I'll go over that in a minute. It's the personality of your business. It's who your ideal client is. It's the outcomes of your business. So it's like how they feel when they work with you, what they get out of you, why they want to work with you. That's the outcomes. And last, it's how you're different from your competitors. So let's go over all those things. So, and then how you show each of those in your pictures for personal branding photography. So their personality would be like, well, most of us are friendly, inviting, welcoming, right? So that would be like a smiling kind of picture like that woman we just saw. So are you outdoorsy? Are you spiritual? Are you fitness? Are you organized? Are you, what else? Are you professional? Are you powerful? You know, all these words. I mean, jot them down. Think about who you are and how you can show that in pictures. Brainstorm about that. Go to Pinterest and put those words in the search bar, like spiritual guide, photo shoot, real estate agent, photo shoot. You know, make a mood board on your Pinterest board and see all the different people that come up and get ideas from that. And so that's one way you can look up photo shoots for and visual ideas. So think of all the little personality words that you can come up with for your personality of your brand. So ideal client, you don't want to just be talking to anybody because you're just throwing your message down a black hole, and that's a total waste of your time. So who is your ideal client, and make them into an actual little person. So you have like Susie sticking next to your computer monitor. So you're actually talking to someone when you're marketing, when you're putting out your social media posts. And so you're targeting your message to someone and make that person into a person. So have their age, their demographics, male, female, where they work, what they do. Are they a stay-at-home parent? Do they work in a big corporation? Are they an entrepreneur? Do they walk their dog every day? Do they exercise? Are they, you know, are they homebodies? Do they go out dancing every night? You know, who are they? What do they do? Where do they hang out? Are they on Facebook or Instagram or at PCC, or, you know, how are you going to reach them? I mean, you got to show them the pictures somehow. I mean, where can you find them? Okay, the next thing is the outcomes. How do you want to make them feel? And how can you show that in pictures? I mean, do you want them to feel exhilarated? Do you want a picture like, woo? Do you want them to feel calm and meditative, and you got to show them that? Or do you want them to feel organized and clean? You pictures should show that. Or do you want to make them feel empowered and powerful, or you know, set? How do you want them to feel if they work with you? So that you can show that in pictures. So the last thing is how you're different. So like if you're a housekeeper and you have a special tool, you should be showing that special vacuum in your pictures. Or if you have special art supplies that you want them to know about, you should have that shown in your pictures. Or if you, so special equipment, or if you have a special, like a book you've written, show that special book in your pictures. Or
So if you were Jean, if you were like a dog trainer, then you would want to have a dog, you know, so somebody like Vicki Draper who works on dogs, you know, having a dog or a cat in there.
Yeah, something. Or if you trained a special kind of pit bull, I mean, show your pit bull dog trainer in particular, you know, have a pit bull in your pictures, or, you know, anything that makes you special and different, if you can put pictures on it. You know, if you've been in, I mean, if you're writing your text, like say on an Instagram post, you say, oh, I've been in the business for 30 years, that makes you special. Or I've written 5 books, that makes you special. I mean, you can put things in text on your pictures too, but however you're different, make sure you say that you are different.
Those are really good tips. Now, what are some things that you have said before that also can stick with your branding? And like what I've watched you do on Facebook is you've taken pictures with the phone. You've said you've done some really cool.
Yeah. Okay, let me show you. I can go through. Okay, so so I have a series which I want to mention on my Facebook page, which is I'm not quite through it yet. It's a free series, and it's do-it-yourself personal branding for your social media using just your camera phone. So the series, it starts with me interviewing Deb White, who I really, really suggest you go and visit her private group on Facebook. And she's a professional branding person. She's been in the business for 30 years. She's really good. And so her name's Deb White. Her Facebook group is Impact Nation. So Deb White, Impact Nation. And she gives out free advice every week, all the time. And she's a free workshop coming up on June 15th. And I would really suggest you go look at it, because she's just, yeah, she's good. Anyway, I interviewed her on Facebook on my, it's on my personal page, which is Jean Kercheval, and my business page, which is Kercheval Photography. It's on both of those. And I interviewed her for like 20 minutes or something about branding and finding your secret sauce. And it's really good. So we talk all about this kind of stuff.
So can you, we're getting down there a little bit on our time here. Can you show us some of the pictures? And then, you know, how people can find you, and then I'll give my little giveaway, and I'll show what the giveaway is. So
okay, let me share the screen, and hopefully this will work. You are screen sharing, it says. Oh, you see her? Please say yes.
Yes.
Okay, there she is. So what would you say she does? What's the feeling you get from her?
Well, could be religious.
Yeah, she's like a transformation guide.
Ah.
So she's kind of, it's a feeling of just a feeling of hope, transformation. Right. So let's see, what else do I have with her? There she is again. She wanted a feeling of transformation, of hope, of there she is again. Thumbs up, you can do it, cheerleader. Oops,
The
that's
first-
another girl. That's another person.
The first one was freedom.
Yes, a feeling of freedom. Mhm. Yeah, and she wanted to wear that. We had her wear the white, so it's a feeling of light, of spiritual. Yeah, let me see. Let me see. And then this girl, she's different. I was shooting for her portfolio. She's a brand new wannabe model. And this is just outside. I picked this location downtown because that's actually a garage door. And we were just walking by it. It's downtown Seattle. And I saw it and we stopped and I said, wait, we got to shoot here. And there's no light on her. It's just a friend holding up a reflector. And it was just perfect. And I shot down low to give that feeling of a model. And I had her make angles with her body. That was the posing. But you use the posing and the lighting and the wardrobe and the location and those 4 things to make your branding. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this series of mine too, those 4 things. And those are things that you need to learn, which I don't have time to talk about necessarily, to increase the success of your branding. Is the posing. Once again, she's posing, I'm shooting her from down low, she's posing a certain way for modeling, has that wardrobe, and the lighting is really good when you're standing within a doorway it makes for directional lighting. When you're standing, it's almost always good to stand in a doorway, like inside of a garage, just inside of it where you're not in the bright light. A lot of photographers do that, where you stand inside of a doorway or in a garage, and then the photographer stands outside and shoots into the doorway or garage, just for a tip there. And she was just outside on an overcast day. And that we're shooting for a location here. You can see the light. Anyway, I don't know how much time I have. We were shooting for location here with the spheres, and we were shooting for a boutique. So that was why we had the outfit and stuff like that. And we were making angles with her body for the more model look, and shooting urban here because we were trying to get an urban look for the upscaling the business for the boutique. So wanted to give her that look. This is just a cafe and a little coffee shop in Kirkland, and I asked the barista if we could shoot, and I just met with this young woman to do a shoot later, and I said let's do some test shooting, and it was just she has a vintage shop and just a tiny little vintage online shop, and she wanted it to be unique and individualistic and girl next door-ish. And this is just, if you were to you do your own little shoot, this is just she's just inside of the coffee shop, no lighting, no nothing. I just stood outside the window and shot in, and we just grabbed a newspaper. And she was just sitting outside. We just kind of walked around, and she was just sitting outside in the sun. And I took a picture of her there, and we walked down the street. This was at the Wild Rover in Kirkland. And I saw this doorway, and she just stood inside the doorway, just walking around finding spots. You know, I had her put her jacket down like that and touch her glasses. Let me see what else I have.
These are cool. My word, I didn't realize you were this artsy. I love the color between the red and the pink. Oh, there's Tammy.
Yeah, you know Tammy. Tammy, her branding, this was when she had Healthy Transformations, and she wanted to do a snow shoot up in the mountains, but it snowed by my house in Lake Forest Park. And so she came to I have woods behind my house. I shoot in the woods all the time. And so she came to my backyard, and we did a little shoot back there. And her branding is friendly and woodsy and inviting. She's a guide for the woods. And so we just did it in the backyard and kept with her branding, and she's inviting, you know, she's guide. And so these are some of the pictures we did for her. And she wanted that bold blue color. And it was sunny. I've got a lot, you know, a ton more pictures of her, but I didn't include them. We had a lot with backlighting, and the snow was kind of falling at one point. And so, yeah, so anyway, and then there's this, I'll just show one more. So if you guys want to do pictures like in the woods, because I know a lot of people like to do pictures in the woods. I've done a ton of pictures in these woods in my house. This girl, she was my makeup artist for just a little bit before she moved. She's really a real young makeup artist. My regular one is a lot older. I just want to give a hint. If you do makeup, or shoots in the woods, have people look up, because there's so much pretty light coming in from the top of the woods if it's not sunny, and the light falls down your face, and it's really pretty. I've got this one of my daughter, this beautiful one. She's looking up into the light.
Wow.
And, yeah, we were doing an Aphrodite shoot, and this was of her. And anyway, if you look up, it just gets rid of all those nasty shadows, and it's beautiful. And I've got just a ton of her in the woods, but this is what I have on my Facebook page. And you can use, like, this is an example of wardrobe where you use all this beautiful fabric, but you have to be careful of it in the light, and see how she's looking at the light. Otherwise her face would be all in shadow. It's working with light and getting familiar with light. And I'm going to do a whole topic on that that I can't necessarily cover right now. There's so much.
There is, but these are stunning, absolutely stunning. So
Yeah.
can you put in the chat box your website and stuff like that, so we could take a look at it?
Let's see.
And I did, this was just so cool. So Jean, can you just end by saying, why do you do this? Why are you a photographer? What is it about the artist's eye, or what is it that you do?
I just love it so much. I've tried to get away from it before, and I just keep coming back to it. You know how people go with their businesses, they kind of go like this. And I think everybody does, all entrepreneurs. And every time I do that, I can't stop it. I keep coming back to it. I love it. And it just draws me. I don't know what to say.
I have a question for you. Did you say in the beginning that you used, did Jill say you did it with cell phones? That doesn't look like cell phone.
Well, most of that, I'm trying to look, most of that was done with my camera, but I do,
Okay.
I do stuff with cell phones for my social media.
Got it.
My Instagram, definitely. But with this do-it-yourself stuff for my teaching, for my video series I'm doing on Facebook, it's with your cell phone, stuff that I'm teaching. But you need to have a friend take your picture. It's not selfies, because it's just too hard. If you're wanting to do it in like a location, like if you're wanting to go to a cafeteria, a coffee shop or something like that, and be in the environment, like sitting with your laptop or something with your Starbucks coffee or whatever, it's too hard to do a selfie. You need someone sitting across the table from you to do the selfie, you know. And people could DM me anytime and ask me questions and stuff like that, and I'm just all ears. I mean, it's fun for me to talk about it.
I so appreciate you saying this and talking about this, because it is the taking our own cell phones out, and because a lot of us do have an Instagram, and keeping with that brand, you know, like you talked about. And so when we cell phones, we're trying to do that. I think that's really important. Well, I'm going to stop the recording, and then I have a neat little giveaway that I'm going to get to do. I'm excited about. And this is on our YouTube channel, and below I will have how you can get a hold of these two women. I want to thank you, Anya, again, for teaching us how to draw and have some fun with that. And Jean, that was just to see your pictures. Wow, they were beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for plugging in. Check us out on illuminatingwomen.com. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye, everybody.